Ladies and gentlemen, another episode of Jay Walker Buzz. Gotta say big respect to all the people that are supporting us. I'm getting reports from Sierra Leone, I'm getting reports from Senegal, I'm getting reports from Nigeria. Gotta big up my London crew. And of course, the United States, you know it though. Atlanta holding it down every single time. South Florida, New York. I got some reports from LA, thank you so much, Toronto. And of course, the entire Caribbean, Jamaica, Grenada, Bahamas, Guyana, Barbados, Belize. Who else we heard from? Cuba, although I don't know how much to understand. But hey, DR, even Haiti came in. Big them up every single time for supporting us. As always, Jay Walker Buzz. We got to big up the buzzers and the buzzettes, the ones that lock in and keep on supporting us so we can keep on going. And of course, we talk to people who are great. I keep on talking to people who do great things. They are interesting people doing interesting things and doing interesting things for the culture. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two people in here who are a great example of what we're discussing here when we talk about greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, I have on the line with me, all the way from Tobago, not Trinidad, Tobago, the one and only Judy McClutcheon, and of course, the one and only, he's been here before. Y'all heard about him. You know, him is the big online Kadion Preston. So when it comes to Judy McCutcheon has over 20 years experience as a consultant and trainer working with major organizations within the Caribbean region, North and Central America. Her areas of competence are in organizational redesign, employee assessment, and development training. Her consultancy experience includes working with organizations to help them identify their gaps in the areas of people, processes, and systems, and then help them to put the systems in place to fill those gaps. She has worked in various industries, including financial services, manufacturing, hotel and tourism, telecommunications, and retail. Judy is a published writer whose articles can be found in newspapers in Grenada. She is committed to creating value for others and use her writing as an avenue to help create impact and add value to others. She has an MBA in International Business from the University of West Indies and a master's in psychology from the University of South Wales. Please, McCuse. Going over to Kadion. We spoke about this before, but I'll bring it up again. Kadion Preston is the co-founder and chief executive officer of Carib Shopper, an e-commerce platform that allows Caribbean merchants to sell their products to consumers globally. Before devoting his work full-time to Carib Shopper, Kadion served as co-founder and chief technology officer at tech company Sony Kloop Networks, a full-service technology development firm serving medium to large-scale corporations, where he developed applications to unify client end-to-end processes. In addition to being Techstars graduate of the Atlanta program in 2018, Kadion also holds a degree in computer engineering from Hunter College. Kadion's technology tenure also spans decades of providing solutions for various industries from Wall Street to healthcare, including Spectrum, Capital Partner, TD Warehouse, TD Waterhouse, Plaza Health Network, and Yahoo. Kadion also sits as chair of the Miami-Dade Trade and Logistics Committee. Kadion enjoys volunteering at Code Fever Miami, a program that fosters innovation and growth in Black communities. When he's not doing all these amazing things and being a pioneer in the Caribbean e-commerce industry, Kadion is a dedicated father of 3 beautiful children and a hardcore cyclist. Oh, he does? He also claims or has to have perfected fall of bone barbecue ribs. I need to taste those ribs to see if they're really wicked, because that sounds like, I say that sounds like cap. I'll check it out, and you need to prove it to me first before we accept that. Ladies and gentlemen, Judy McClutcheon and Kadion Preston. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. Thank you so much.
Jason, with an intro like that, I don't deserve to be in the same room with Judy. So this is an honor. And also I don't deserve to be in the same room with you, Jason. So it's also an honor. But I'm glad to be here. And I need to get that energy that you have right now. I need it. So it's 7 p.m. where I'm at right now, and I need that energy. So keep going.
Well, you guys are part of the Caribbean Diaspora Leaders to Inspire Change at the Disruptive Leadership Conference in Miami. which is happening March 12th through 14th. Now, guys, starting with Judy, what the heck is this event about and why are you guys involved?
So I am the founder of the Disruptive Leadership Conference, and this conference is about equipping our people with the tools they need to elevate their leadership. I'll tell you what, I believe that Caribbean people are some of the world's most brilliant people. And so we have people doing amazing things like Kadion. I really admire Kadion. And so I want other people to be in a room with Kadion and learn from him, you know? And I know that he's willing to share his expertise. So the reason is that I want us to come together as a community, whether we're in the Caribbean, whether we're in the diaspora, to come together as a community so that we can share and grow and uplift each other. And that is the aim and the thrust behind putting on this conference.
I think, Jason, the one thing that Judy has omitted is that she's brought some of the Caribbean's best stars in one room. And me just being a twinkle there, I just so excited to see that lineup. That lineup is impressive. I mean, disruptive leadership is really disrupting leadership, and I'm hoping that people actually go and look. I mean, I've been telling a lot of my friends and a lot of people in the industry to come out, because Judy has put together a real all-star cast that it should be rocking the room. It should be rocking the room. No two ways about it.
Now, I've seen some of the names. I see David Mullings on there, who was another one of these annoying superstars that are out there that you have to ask what I'm smoking. And of course, one of my favorite individuals, Dr. Terrell, is the host. Great choice. He's one of my favorite human beings.
Excellent choice. I mean,
you know, she has been the host of this conference since we started in 2019. And she said, Judy, you know, I host over 200 conferences a year. And this conference is in my top 5.
Wow.
If Terry says that.
Mm-hmm.
And do understand, Terry don't mince words. She doesn't.
She doesn't.
Like literally. Like she doesn't understand doing fluff. She doesn't even understand the value of the entire point. So she said that she was real. Now, before we go into the why the doctor would say that, I'm curious, Judy. Tell us a little bit about you know, our listeners know a little bit about Carib Shopper, but you're also the CEO of your own company. Tell us a little bit about yours.
Right. So Go Blue Consulting is a management consulting firm. And what we do is that we go into organizations that are having issues. I think I like challenge. Because I go into organizations that are experiencing issues, whether it's with their people, their processes, or the systems, and work with them to streamline and put the proper systems, put the right people in the right spot. Because sometimes you have a really good team, but you have a lot of square pegs in round holes. So one of the things I will do is look at your team and reshuffle them so that people are where they can really perform at their best. So in a nutshell, that's what we do, and I work across the Caribbean region.
Now, in terms of Caribbean systems, organizations, so on, what are some of the things that always seem to come up? What are some of the things that you always seem to have challenges with, and then have to figure out a way to get around?
All right, what I'm seeing mostly lately is gaps in leadership knowledge. with especially dealing with their people. That's where I'm seeing the biggest gap, because I have CEOs who said to me, oh my God, my team, I don't have a good team. But when I talk to the team, they're a great team. They're a fantastic team. What is missing is the leadership's ability to communicate effectively. And that comes from lack of emotional intelligence, lack of self-awareness. And so what we need a lot is to have leaders who are self-aware, who are curious about who they are, so that they can really be better. And really, when I think about this conference, I'm really passionate about this, guys. When I think about this conference, it's one of the things I really want to bring to our people, how much we can make each other so much better just by understanding ourselves, just by understanding who we are. And that is our biggest issue. But the next challenge is telling a CEO, you need to become self-aware.
The real question is how, because people in power normally don't see themselves as a problem and don't want to be checked. How do you deal with that? Like, that's the reality. Let's not pretend.
Yes, it is. It is a reality, and it really is becoming more of an issue, because you can't get the CEO or the senior leader to accept that you're looking at the team. Could it be that maybe we need to look at you? I said that to a CEO and he was really, really upset. We had a really good friendship, but I don't think we have that good friendship anymore. We just have a working relationship right now. And for me, that says, like, I see things from a psychological standpoint, from a whole neuroscience standpoint. I look at, I'm also certified as a trauma specialist, as a trauma coach. So I look at what is behind that, and it's very deep, and we have to get underneath that to get them to see, if you become better, your team becomes better, their performance becomes better, you look better, and your bottom line simply just increase.
I think, Judy, that's something that I truly agree with. A lot of the challenges that I face in my organization, I start looking at me first. And I do that because I found that being egotistical or not willing to learn or not willing to look inwards first, right, doesn't give you the best viewpoint on life or the challenge that you're having. Once you start looking inward first and you start asking yourself the hard questions, then it becomes easy to really identify the problem. And if the problem is you, that's the easiest fix. You know what I mean? Or that's the fix that you can control. The other variables become very, very hard. And
yes, because because you're trying to you can't control how I behave, but you can certainly control how you behave.
That makes sense. Now, what you've described is what I expected. That the CEO got upset with you. Ego has been touched. And then a while ago you said something, but you knew the CEO a long time. And I don't know if you know Judy. And I'm going to share this with you in case nobody's ever told you. Men have fragile egos. It is what it is. Like, it is what it is. And then now, if a woman has some kind of connection to them, like a good friend, sister, wife, girlfriend, mother, auntie, grandmother, it's even more fragile. So I could see said CEO really having a problem with you who's supposed to know that CEO is the top of top, come talk about him have little issues. What? Face like, bright and bumptious and forward. I don't know if you know those words, but when you move to Jamaica, you'll find them out. but what's most important though is for them to get over that and actually learn what it is. Now, how do you get them to the stage of getting over that?
It's all about how you communicate. It really is in the communication. Now, we have, when we're looking at people, you have an empath and you have an egopath, right? If that person is completely an egopath, it becomes difficult to get them to see that they are wrong. And that's the part that leads to narcissism and so on and so on. When you find a person that's balanced, because you want a person who is balanced, who has some empath and some egopath, because we need our egos. Our egos are important. We need it because it preserves us. But the problem becomes when we are total egos. But when we find somebody who is balanced, you're able to talk to that person, and then they are able to look into themselves and say, oh, maybe it's me. Let me see what's causing that. I usually say to leaders, become curious about who you are. Ask yourself questions about yourself. So one of the things that I do is that if I'm driving and I get angry about something, I ask myself, why? Why did you become angry about that? Is that person who is driving slow in front of you the reason why you are late for your appointment? Because I can bet you it's not. It's because I left home later than I should have. So when we become curious, we find out so much more about ourselves.
And of course, what part do we play in creating the thing that I'm upset about? All facts.
Yep, because the starting point of everything is self.
Of course, we're talking about the big conference that's coming up between March 12th through 14th. The #1 Caribbean leadership event in the world.
Yes.
Disruptive Leadership Conference. Experience the future of leadership, opportunities, risk, and rewards. So Kadion.
Yes, sir.
And I know you're speaking, but I also know that you're a man that you're never one-dimensional. You don't just come in a place to give them wisdom. You're also in a place to see what the connections can bring about. Now, in your mind, is this your first Disruptive Leadership Conference, Kadion?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What are you looking forward to happening there? Outside of an opportunity to prove that you can cook ribs.
Well, I definitely won't be cooking ribs at the conference, but I will definitely be networking and trying to meet as much influential people or just meet people from the diaspora who are doing amazing things and be able to learn from them. That's my goal at the conference.
Now tell me something, Kadion.
Yes, sir.
Your platform.
Yes.
In a time when there are a lot of people, there was just a boycott of Target to the tune of $15 billion in 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And people are looking for platforms where they're selling retail product that's run by people of color, specifically somebody black. And as we can see on the screen, you are black. In this disruptive leadership conversation, can you see yourself, you and all the other ones who are also diverse persons, DEI as they say, put yourself in a position to take advantage of this and provide both services and products for people? I mean, do you see yourself being able to do that? And then how?
So I believe we're in a very interesting time. I believe with the current administration is going to create a lot of disruption. And Judy, I'm not using your term and the term that describes your conference in a bad way, but it's causing a lot of disruption, right? And that disruption is going to create opportunities. How those opportunities manifest itself for whether it be my business or others is yet to be seen, but it's good that one thing I notice is happening, and if it keeps on happening, it gives clarity and direction, is people being deliberate about their decisions. And so what happened with Target was deliberate, right? And so if us as humankind start to take a stance in different ways and start to be more deliberate, then, you know, how we share what, like Judy said, she likes to take up hard challenges. She cares about our Caribbean people and likes to go focus on the hard challenges of our people. She's not doing the Disruptive Conference for personal benefit. This is for us, for her bringing a group of Caribbean leaders to share and impact and connect for growth of the region, right? So that's a deliberate action, and it starts out selfless, and hopefully it becomes a reward, right? And so in the truth of the matter, I am watching to see how this trickles down. Have I seen the benefits today yet? Not yet, but all benefits are not always immediate. And so I'm excited to see what this disruption continues to be, and how it will affect the economy and us in general.
And one of the things, Kadion, just jumping on what you're saying, one of the things that I really want to drive home to people in our community in the US, in South Florida, who are small businesses, who really depend a lot on the assistance that they were getting to make their business work. We can still make our business work without the assistance, but it really is aligning yourself with the right people, getting the right resources, understanding what you need to do. And our people are resilient. We are a resilient people, right? But we need to understand that we don't have to build back alone. You know, we can come together and build back together.
Repeat that last line again. We don't have to
build back alone.
Yep.
But we can
learn. Yes, that is going to be a key statement, Judy. We don't have to do it alone. We can build back together.
Yes, we can do it together. We can do it together. And so, I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful that this conference helped to bring people into the room so that they see what we are creating, so that they see how they can help as well as how they can benefit from something like this.
Now, back to you, Kadion. Tell people a little bit about your platform, people that don't necessarily know about Carib Shopper. Of course, people were talking about the Disruptive Leadership Conference. It's happening March 12th through 14th in South Florida, in Miami. And we're speaking to two of the very brilliant Caribbean excellence, disruptive leaders, business leaders, life enrichment leaders right here who are going to be at the event. And of course, Judy is is the founder and organizer of the event. But Kadion, tell us a little bit more about your platform, what your platform does, and so on.
So thank you, Jason. Carib Shopper. You know, I used to describe Carib Shopper as the e-commerce marketplace for Caribbean-made goods, and we're now redefining ourselves, right? And as we're redefining ourselves, we realize that Carib Shopper is a solution that's helping Caribbean-made become worldwide, and we're doing that in multiple ways. We're making authentic Caribbean-made products accessible to communities outside of the Caribbean. in both a direct-to-consumer, which is, not to use big terms, but a marketplace. You can shop your local products from Jamaica, Trinidad, and now Guyana. And for others, we're now starting to develop and grow our distribution businesses, helping Caribbean products to scale. We have now gone past the borders of the US market, North America. We're in international waters and scaling Caribbean products that way. So we're both direct to consumer and business to business, and our goal is to be the destination for Caribbean made and making our products accessible worldwide.
Now I'm curious, you just said Caribbean producers in the Caribbean, but what if there are Caribbean producers in the diaspora? Would your platform be catering to them as well or not?
Yes, we cater to them as well. Our goal is that if you are of Caribbean descent and you make a product to our community, we support you. And we've been very deliberate about that. We've had multiple other brands and ethnicities come to us, and we're not being discriminated. We're not discriminating, but at the same time, we're focused on us and us as a people. And if I could take any words, I would take the words of FUBU, which is for us, by us. And we want to grow our community.
I mean, it did say Carib shopper. It started Caribbean. So if you feel that way about it, that Carib help you. That being said, no, Judy, Kadion just spoke to us about the brilliant reality of creating a marketplace, a distribution hub for Caribbean produced products from Caribbean producers. Give us an idea of the other types of business owners or service providers that will be at this disruptive event. Disruptive event.
All right, so we have, and I'm just going to pull David Mullins out because
who?
You mentioned him, David.
Who's that?
Now David is doing amazing. Now that's the next person I admire. Like, he's just wanting to take Caribbean diaspora money, invest it back into the Caribbean, make the Caribbean great, and then make the people who are investing rich. I mean, I see him doing the project on low-income housing. I'm like, we're just brilliant. So we have David, who people can learn about investing from, right? We have Leslie Lee Focus out of Trinidad, and I need to pull him out because I call him the AI boss, right? He talks everything AI, about how you can take AI and really make your process so much more simplified. A lot of us are afraid of AI. Yeah, we are. But it can be simplified, and he is going to talk to us about how we can do that. But he's also going to talk to us about it from an ethical standpoint, because one of the issues that leaders have around incorporating AI is the ethical use of it. So he's going to be talking about that. And of course, we have Sky.
By the way, before you move on from the AI, let me tell you why I believe that's so important. Because at the end of the day, we might be afraid of it, but history has shown that we jump on technology even a higher rate than other people. Like, I will never forget, and this is dating myself, there was a social media platform, High Five, then College Club, and then Facebook. And the three of them used to list the top countries that come to their sites. And every single time, in the top 5, there'll be a Caribbean nation, most times Jamaica. So if we could have go on for them for the AI, I bet you any money that is going to be fully saturated in the Caribbean. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes so much sense.
And we're going to have Sky Jarrett. Sky's going to be talking to us about aligning purpose, because I believe that we don't just fall into a business because we want money. I mean, some people do that, yes, but really, how do we align our purpose and our business so that it's not too challenging for us? Because if we're doing something that we love, something that we think is purposeful, then that alignment is important. So she's going to be talking to us about that. We have Monique. Now, Monique is out of the Bahamas. She lives in Atlanta, but she's out of the Bahamas. And her biggest thing is communication and emotional intelligence. And I know, like I just spoke about that, it's one of, sometimes I think maybe it's almost a crime that we can't communicate effectively. So she's going to be talking to us about that. And she's recently done some really great things in joining these Black women, getting in these Black women networks. And so it will be good to network with her, to, just to find out, how do I become part of those networks? How do I get the training? What do I do? What do I have to do so that I could, again, get myself and my business where it needs to be? We have, I'm going to Belize. I'm really going over to Belize. Belize is my second home.
Me too.
Right?
I'm coming.
It's my second home. I lived there for 10 years. I love that place. We have, out of Belize, we have two people, but the one I want to talk about, her name is Kay Menzies. Kay Menzies is one of the only women in very, very top leadership in an energy company. She's the president and CEO of Fortis Belize, and that's the energy generating company in Belize. She's going to really be talking to us about taking strategic risk, how to balance bold moves with smart decisions. Because sometimes we maybe look at social media and see something and then decide that's what we're going to do, but that's not what we should be doing. We should be learning to make smart decisions. So she's going to be talking about that. I'm moving to Trinidad and Tobago. So we have Dr. Shelley-Ann Gajaha. She lives in Atlanta as well. And she's going to be talking to us about the mindset that we need to have. Because make no bones about stuff, the mindset that we have is going to determine where we end up. And with everything that's happening now, I don't want our people to run and hide. I really don't want that, right? I want us to build the mindset that we need to keep going. And well, we have Kadion, right? And then we have a couple workshops. So then we have a Julie Turney out of Barbados. She's going to be talking to us about HR, because we always need to have an HR component in every conference that we do, because our human resource is
the most important resource.
That's right. We're going to be talking about DEI, but Christopher is out of Barbados, but he lives in Canada. So he says, with everything that's happening now, we're just going to we're going to talk about people. But really, it's around DEI and how we can really look at what DEI is and how we can incorporate it into our organizations. Because when I look at people on social media, they think DEI is about Black and brown people and
black, brown, and women.
Yeah, and that's what I said, female. Yeah, but
and how they need to be removed.
DEI is so much more.
But DEI is not even that conversation. DEI is literally finding the most qualified people in areas that you've never looked in before. When I talk to people about it, I like to give them the example. I said probably the most famous early example of DEI is Jackie Robinson getting into the major leagues. Major leagues never looked on black people before, and you found one of the best black persons, and you brought him in. So it's actually a positive. You're getting the best of the best to come in. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's what we need. And then I want us to talk about branding ourselves, because that is important. Who are you when you show up? Whether you show up on social media, in person, who are you? So we'll have Naomi Garrick coming to talk to us about that. And then we have the people on our panel, you know? The smooth Kadion Preston. We have Marlon Hill, and we all know Marlon Hill.
The original Jamaican diaspora disruptor, yes.
Yes. And then we have a person, Aka Ali Kerr. She is from Trinidad and Tobago, but she lives in South Florida. She's at one of those bigger hotels. It's a Hyatt. We have Dr. Nicole Grimes. Don't know if you know, right? She is in New York. And then we have Natalie Bennett. Natalie Bennett is another Jamaican in New York. So that kind of round up the whole speaking panel. So
it's the Avengers of Disruptive Caribbean Leaders. Got it.
Yes, I like that.
You're gonna have this March 12th through 14th that they're all gonna assemble. Another Avengers reference. It's a hybrid, right?
Yeah, it's hybrid. So
where's the physical location?
It's at the Miami Airport Sheraton and Executive Meeting Center.
And we can go to a website to sign up for the virtual.
Yeah, the website is disruptiveleadershipconference.com. Simple. And you go there, all the information is there. We have 3 tiers. We have the platinum tier, which I just cut off today. So that's done. And then we have the gold. And the gold is what I want the people in Florida to buy. And you get $200 off the ticket. It was $9.95. We're giving you for $7.95 because we want you to come out and be in the room. And then we have the virtual option. But I don't want people from South Florida to take the virtual. I want them to be in the room, feeling the energy, getting the connection.
So like we need to
don't miss in the room. If you can be in the room, be in the room. If you can be in the room, be in the room. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Listen, you never know. Listen, you just never know who is going to be that person next to you. I'm telling you, you just never know. I mean, like, I have a quick story for you. I remember when I moved from Trinidad to Tobago, I had no job. I just decided to move. I had no job, no money. I just decided what I want, Tobago cannot give it to me right now. So I'm moving. I moved. And we were going somewhere, and I didn't want to go because, of course, I don't have no money. But I went. I met Hazley Crawford, and Hazley Crawford opened the door for me. And because that door was open, I just kept running.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's important to be in the room.
So in other words, this is a great opportunity. But you can't come to opportunity if you're not prepared. So get yourself prepared and come to the opportunity. So when the opportunity comes up, you can actually do something with the opportunity, just like Judy did. Now,
and I want people to know that we have my contact information is on the website. So if you're having a little issue, write to me. Just just write to me and then we have a conversation. But I want all you in the room.
Now, Kadion, you have agreed to be part of this event. What did you hear about it before this year?
So when I met Judy, she told me about the previous events and just her explaining her why and what she's put together, and just looking at the as they said, the Avengers of the diaspora. I'm humbled to be a part of this group of people. There's nothing else I can say. I mean, if you were to ask me, I don't belong in the room. You have Marlon Hill, David Mullings, Terry Carell.
You belong in the room.
There's some real rock stars at the table. I mean, so, Judy inviting me is more than appreciative, and I hope to impart some great knowledge at the conference. That's the goal, and rub shoulders with my fellow members of the diaspora. And we never know who we're gonna meet. We never know what the connection's going to be. But all I know is that the human connection is always amazing, and when you put those elements together, something comes from it.
Always does. I was looking at an interview with...
Before you go there, Judy, just any CEOs that are paying attention to what just occurred a while ago, that is actually a great example of emotional intelligence, where Kadion pretends like he's, like regular everyday people, and he's not one of the superstars. It's actually a brilliant way of making space for people to feel comfortable and not feel intimidated, so that when Kadion does speak, they'll listen with the right ears instead of the intimidated ears. Emotional intelligence. It's great. CEOs, remember that. Sorry, you're about to say.
No, I was saying to you, I was listening to interview. Well, it was a live lunch and learn that Dr. Nicole Grimes was having last week, Wednesday, with I don't remember his name, but he's the co-founder of Tech Beach. And he was saying that they went to a coffee shop and just had a chance, they just by chance met the owner of
Twitter.
Twitter. I just, if you want to be in the game, you have to be on the field.
That makes sense. What will LeBron say? The best ability is availability. If you're not around, you can't do the things.
That's right.
Now, tell us, Judy, watershed moments from 2019. Watershed moments that you've had during the conferences, and what you've learned as you've gone through this since 2019. And if it's since 2019, that means you went through COVID with this.
Let me tell you, 2019, my first year. The first year was, it was a good year, and it taught me that I can do hard things. I can do anything I put my mind to. This conference started as a dare from a client. A client dared me to start this movement. And I remember I reached out at that time to my connections. See, connections are so important. I reached out to my connections. Everybody said yes. Every last one of them. And these are not, they're great people, but they're very humble. All of them said yes. I'm looking for a host. And I said, I need somebody who, and I was trying to explain it to somebody, and I said, I can't explain the host I'm looking for, but I know what I'm looking for. And I'm on LinkedIn, and this girl comes across my feed. And I'm like, who is this? And then I started following her, and I'm like, oh, I like this energy. And then I texted a friend in Jamaica. I said, you know Terry Carell? She said, yeah. I said, I want to meet her. She gave me her number. I sent Terry a WhatsApp.
Yo, boss really trust you. Just give the number, son. Boss, my good friend. Sorry, go on.
Yes, that's a very good friend. And I sent Terry a WhatsApp. Later in the evening, she responded. And she said, sorry, I was at an event. But I know she done went on and checked me out already, right? And we had the conversation. And before I could finish, Terry tell me yes. And that was the start of something great. And Terry and I now are just really good friends. And everything really just aligned. I got great support from the business community in Grenada. I had people from Belize came in, people from Trinidad and Tobago came in, people from Jamaica came in. And that was the first one. And so then we went online. Online was
Because
good.
of COVID, you went online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me tell you, 2023 was my hardest year yet. When we decided to go back online, I decided to do it in Trinidad. And the support wasn't as great in Trinidad, even though we did like loads of advertising. But the support was good, but not as great as I would have, as I hoped for. But it still wasn't, it was a good conference. It was a great conference actually, right? And then now I was thinking I was going to not do it again. I have to admit that. And and one of the speakers said to me, are you crazy? What are you talking about? She said, what you need to do is move the conference to Miami because it's a Caribbean hub. Now, again, sometimes I think to myself, Judy, what are you doing when you do these things? You don't know anybody in Miami. What are you doing? But I did it, and it was supposed to be in November, but because of the storms that were happening and then elections, people were saying, so we put it off until March. I kind of wanted May, but because people had already started paying, I didn't want to put it so far down. So we
Right.
At this point. But if it happens again, it's definitely going to be in Miami, and it's going to be in May because it's a better, slower month for hotels and airlines and that kind of stuff. So people get a break on the cost of stuff. But so far, the partnerships that I've gotten have been good. I didn't get of course, and the sponsorship isn't great because, of course, it's the first time it's coming to Miami, and a lot of people don't know the name. But we do have sponsors, and we do have partnerships. We have made some great partnerships. All we want now is for the South Florida people to get in the room.
Next year, I might have some sponsors for you. So let's connect.
Yes, sir.
There are a couple of Caribbean multimillionaires who like, but they're very quiet, so you may not know them. So we'll talk offline.
Okay.
Well, March 12th through 14th, the Disruptive Caribbean Avengers, the leaders, will be assembling right in Miami. And please tell us the venue again, Judy.
It's at the Miami Airport Sheraton Hotel and Executive Meeting Center. And the 12th, we have, if you are a speaker or you have registered for the Platinum Tier, we have a opening cocktail, a nice cocktail event planned for you to come together and meet each other before we start. So by the time you walk into the conference hall, you see people that you already know.
Excellent. And where's the website for all of this?
DisruptiveLeadershipConference.com.
Kadion, where do people go to be part of your platform? And how do Caribbean producers become part of what you're doing?
So number one, if you're looking for Caribbean-made products, www.caribshopper.com and search for whatever you want. And if you want to become a merchant, go to www.caribshopper.com. There's a little button at the bottom of the page or the first page that says Become a Merchant. Click it and we'll get in touch with you.
Judy, thank you very much for this amazing event. We're definitely going to be putting out more information about it. Definitely going to be doing a follow-up to see how things come out of it. And we're telling people about this. This is needed. Glad that you're putting it on and you're bringing all of these Caribbean excellence people together. And Kadion, big respect.
Yes, sir.
Big respect for showing them that you have the emotional intelligence. And I still think you should bring the ribs, because that would be a big selling point to see if people can judge whether or not your ribs really that good. I'm just saying.
Kadion, maybe we put on maybe next year we put on a cooking
cookout. Yes,
we put
on a cookout.
The last night or the Saturday after. Yeah. So you see JWC where
and I'll go head to head with Jason Walker himself. I'll go head to head with you.
No. I'll be eating your food. I never said I could cook. You say you can cook it, not me. I play music and I talk lavish. That's what I do. You say you can cook, so I'll be eating. And as a matter of fact, you probably all the people that have seasoning and all kind of sauce on caribshopper.com. That'd be a great opportunity to be part of that. I'm liking this.
Yeah,
I'm liking this.
It would have been nice to get some sauces. Because I'm a sauce person. I'm a serious sauce, but I would tell you I would be buying that sauce.
All right.
Well, the Disruptive Leadership Conference is going to be between March 12th through 14th in Miami. And of course, we'll be looking out for it. And we at J Walker Buzz keep on bringing you interesting people doing interesting things and help to develop the culture in an amazing way. All my buzzers and my buzzies, make sure you check them out. Another episode of J Walker Buzz. Thank you, Judy and Kadion.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. This was nice. This was a lovely conversation. I like conversations.